Yo, what's up? Back with another Linked Up podcast. We got our co-host Geummy and a special guest Tim with us today. How you guys doing?
Tim Kang, also known as Illustrator, we're super grateful to have you. You have broken records. I mean, as a developer, you've secretly changed the world by, it's also public now, but you changed the world by putting this huge bid on a Beeple NFT that just broke world records, and people are like, whoa, this JPEG is going for how much? Almost $1 million.
Yeah, crazy.
And then all these artists that you've supported just have forever changed their careers, and now you can make a whole new career in Web3 as a creator.
I don't want to take all that credit, but thank you. That was a crazy time.
So when I first met you, Tim, it was at your house. Was that at your house? No, was it at his house?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah, and you showed me the Beeple collection that you got.
Yeah.
And so I want to know more about how you got involved in that and why you decided one day to spend this ridiculous amount of money on an NFT at an auction.
I found it actually on Twitter because I was following this guy named Murat Pak, and I just saw he was posting these cool artworks on this platform, and I was like, what is this? And I was able to buy an NFT with my Ether, and I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And this was me after being in crypto for 5 years.
So in 2017 you weren't in the NFT market. You just found about it in 2020 when
I heard about CryptoPunks and CryptoKitties, but it never really registered. Because I don't know, it just never clicked.
Yeah, it didn't click with most people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, I just thought I'd give this a shot. I could spend my Ether on this really cool piece of art, right?
Yeah.
And then only until I bought that did I realize whoa,
But what made you look at Beeple and be like, I want this one?
That was more of wanting to help make a mark on the whole
ecosystem.
The whole ecosystem in the space.
Yeah.
To try to make a statement that this is a legitimate thing.
But why Beeple particularly? That collection?
Yeah, well, he's an icon. Prior to NFTs, he was just looked up to by so many artists because of his, he was one of the first to really be public domain with his work that really just helped people learn of animation and how to do digital animation, and help people. Before it was pretty difficult to learn, and he really just spread the love. And
could you explain what you mean by public domain?
Yeah, so he created these animation files in C4D, and he just gave it out for free. And so people were able to use
what's C4? I'm new to all this. What's C4? What's C4D?
C4D is it's called Cinema 4D. I don't use it myself, so I'm not
That's where Beeple creates his collections.
That's where he creates his his artwork.
Dude, when I look at Beeple's collection, I don't know if you've seen the AI on how they could create images, and you could just put you could put cat in a cactus cat, and they'll make a cactus cat. Legit, that looks like Beeple's art on how AI creates art. And I'm like, does Beeple use AI? And I'm like,
nah,
this is legit his ideas. Whoa, that's insane. So you bought Beeple's art. You wanted to make a mark on Web3.
Yeah.
Basically, and so when you bought the art, you told me that Beeple hand delivered you the NFT to your house.
He came through.
What?
He came through to LA.
That's crazy.
He came through. What really drew me to his collection. Not only was he an inspiration to so many artists. He really wanted to he basically merged the physical and the digital in his collection. And so NFTs were purely digital, but it took me buying one, going through the whole process, taking that step forward for me to start to get it and be oh whoa, I actually own this digital
And it was cool because it wasn't just one NFT, it was a whole collection. And so what I don't know about this, but if this was Beeple's first NFT collection that he sold.
I think he had like a prior one. It was like much smaller.
Yeah.
It was like just 100 pieces of the same like politics is bullshit piece, and then like a few one-of-ones, I think. But I think this was his like big like first big collection, and what he did was he packaged the NFT in like a physical box and like a cool like
that's so
Infinity
dope
Objects like display. And so like when I saw that, I was like, wait, like this physical like kind of like gateway is like necessary for people to like be like, oh, like this is actually like
tangible.
just a collectible tangible item, right? Some people, you know, like myself, wouldn't have understood just the digital.
Yeah.
You know? And so like when I saw that, I was like, wait, like this is something that could help allow people to grasp this concept, you know? And so like that's why I put the bid down, because I was like, this headlines, this could help like shape and help educate and make aware of like what this technology can do.
Was there a particular reason why you put down that specific number?
Yeah, it was more of like a just like a lucky number, you know, like a divine.
It was 700K.
7, yeah, I put like all sevens.
You put
like
777
and then
thousand. What?
777. Yeah.
What?
And it was just like
you know what's crazy is my favorite number is 77.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's my lucky number.
Nice. Yeah.
I actually have it painted on my backpack. That's crazy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just a lucky number. It's a common lucky number. I thought like it would be a cool like way, and like, you know, I was bidding against someone else, and like
what was the person that was bidding before you? How much did they put down?
It was at like 340. So the bidding
it
was like,
so you just went I'm doing 700K and
more than double.
I'm taking
Bam.
it.
Yeah, like
that's crazy.
Like for me, like I thought that like there's, you know, either the chance that he like outbids me, and that'll be it. Like that'll be my final bid. But if not, like I'll just leave it up to, you know, like God or just like this divine like number. Hopefully it'll do something.
So you basically had to see a vision in NFTs like before you bought this. Obviously, you didn't just see this and you wanted to make a impact in the world to change and revolutionize. But like personally, you saw where NFTs can go. You know, everyone says NFTs, but I think just to simplify it for everyone else, it's literally a digital asset, digital collection. And I think like you saw where the technology was going. So tell me where you think it is going. Like, what's your perspective on it? Because you've been in crypto for a very long time. How long?
I think 7 years now.
7 years, and then you got into NFTs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And NFTs have changed so much in the past 2 years. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Like it is ridiculous.
It's awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
Because,
so
like I've been waiting. You know, just like crypto is like, it really shows like how you can own your own assets. That's like the baseline. Like you can own your own assets. You know, have control and security over your own assets. And so like, that helps liberate so many people. Just the fact that like there are corrupt governments, there's currencies that are imploding, like governments, you know, imploding, and like, you know, people's assets can just get taken away from them at any time, you know. But if like all someone needs is a phone and internet connection, which is now like widely available, even in impoverished countries, and so like all they need is that, and now they can have, you know, take ownership over value. That's why I personally believed in crypto at first, but then like NFTs, it's just owning your own assets that are like a single individual entity. Bottle of water is non-fungible. It's just a single item, right?
Yep.
And so like, it's just applying that to a digital world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so your background is, you know, you're a developer.
Yeah.
And how long have you been a developer for?
I started coding when I was 13 or 14.
Really?
Nice.
Wow. So, what on the developing side did you start off with? Was it gaming? Was it creating like websites? It was gaming.
Wow. Yeah.
So what? You're Elon Musk now, because that's what Elon Musk, when he was a kid, he started coding. He made a game when he was very young. Yeah. That was his first ever like hands-on technology part.
Yeah.
So what was the game?
It was there was this Korean game called Guns with a Z, and like it was such a good game because like it was just so glitchy.
Really?
It was so bad that it was so good.
So what made you get into wanting to be so passionate in coding? Because coding is a totally different language, and it's not for everyone, because you got to sit there for 10 hours, 15 hours to code something.
Yeah, it's really longer.
Yeah, and like what the reason I got into it was because like I love this game. Like it was awesome. You could like do some crazy like maneuvers, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't buy any like skins or like any guns or swords or whatever.
Like the accessories.
Because I didn't have any money, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, but I want these items. And so like I like created like a private server, and I learned how to like run like my own like version of it. I had to like get a way for people to register and like play the game. And so like all the code was already there, but like I had to create like a registration like form. And so that was my first like foray into like learning coding.
Wow.
And then you took that, and you've been doing it for what, 10, 15 years, something like that now?
Yeah.
And so like from your progression, how do you think you progressed on the level of being a developer now? So what are you working on and now trying to create?
Yeah, so I'm starting something new called multimedia.
Okay.
Sick name.
Multimedia, I like that.
Yeah, somehow I got multimedia.org.
Wow.
As a domain name.
Shit.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
It's like a whole creative like hub. So I was always fascinated by like live experiences, and like one thing that I was teaching myself was like making live visuals, like using the browser. And so like the browser is actually like a lot more powerful than most people realize. Like I'm sure people have seen like these 3D things, interactive things, right? But like it should be way more prevalent on all of our web experiences, right? And you could bring in live music too, that powers it, and just like,
Are you talking about playing, like, when you see the Google search engine, like playing live music on that? What do you mean by that?
It's like, wait, what do you mean by Google?
So dumb it down for us when you say there's a lot more you can do on a browser.
Oh, yeah. So like, let's say like this, I'm going to use this water, like jug of water again. Like this right here can be virtualized in a way that in the browser that you like can like interact with it and like turn it around, and like you'll see like a 3D object of this within the browser, like on like Google Chrome, right?
Okay.
But we don't really see that. When we go on Amazon, we just see like a 2D
like a
picture.
flat
We
photo
see a flat
with
photo.
a
We
boring
don't really
white
know.
background.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like the lack of interaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lack of interaction. It's very flat, like you said.
So you want to solve that problem? That's what you're trying to solve?
I'm not trying to solve it. I want to like help push it forward, I guess, and make it more like accessible, and that like there should be a platform where people can like go and see like all these like 3D
tools.
like cool like experiences all in one place.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
So you mentioned as a child you didn't have any money to code that game.
Mm-hmm.
So did you not grow up with money?
I mean, like,
what was your childhood
like? Fortunate
like?
to have like live in a house with my family.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't have money to my name until like I graduated college, and started working a job.
What was your job?
Well, actually, I did make $20,000 from this game.
Really? You made 20,000? How you were 14?
Wow, you're balling as a 14-year-old.
No, this is when I hit like 17.
17, you already made $20,000.
Couple years, yeah.
That's crazy.
Just from like donations. And but I spent it all.
What? I mean,
like immediately. I don't know where it went. I
mean, as a 17-year-old, if you get 20K just like that, I mean, definitely, I would have spent
like a laptop, a camera, and then, yeah.
You care a lot about other people's projects, and you support a lot of people, and so. When did you get financially stable to be able to, you know, okay, hey, I want to help you, I want to support you on this project. I have extra money, you know, I see your vision, you know, I definitely want to help you out. When did you get to that level where you could you're able to impact people?
After I graduated in 2015, like I got a job, like a software engineering job at Deutsche Bank, and I saved like $8,000. So at that time I had $8,000, and then I took out a loan.
Like a car loan, right?
How much?
It was like $12,000.
Wow, so you got $20,000.
So I had $20,000 again.
Okay.
And I threw it all into Ethereum. This was January 2016.
2016. So Ethereum was at?
It was like $3.
$3.
I saw it at $1, and then like I watched it go to $3.
So you put in $20,000 when Ethereum was at $3.
Around there, like 3, 6, 9 were all like my
like under $10.
Under $10.
Wow.
Yeah. But
crazy.
Like. But even then, like I knew that there was so much more potential. So I still lived like very, very frugally. I tried to. My spending was kind of low. I, you know, cooked as much as I could. Sometimes, you know, I lived in North Carolina. There were like expenses were not like even comparable to like, you know,
LA.
Yeah.
Especially New York. New York is crazy.
Yeah.
But like LA, you know. And so like I was just like living, like I was just trying to save and maximizing.
So what did you, so I mean back then Ethereum, like, I mean it was a wild west in that time period. Like that's crazy because
what made you trust Ethereum?
Yeah.
It was just I think Vitalik Buterin, the founder, like just hearing him speak, he just incredibly intelligent. And he had like the right like ethics and like the heart for what he was doing, and he was like, you know, like writing all these complex like financial, like socioeconomic, like multidisciplinary like papers. I'm just like, what is this stuff? And like I was like, okay, this guy like is a genius.
You know, for like the masses, we hear a lot about like crypto crashing, and we hear a lot about like the founders of like a Web3 company like scamming people. There's so much negative media like projection. I'm just curious, like what is it that makes you trust this so much, especially like what makes it that you trust it, that you could just drop like almost $1 million on a file or a physical, like digital file?
That's a really good question. So like all of these things that are happening right now, like with FTX and Luna and Terra, well, Terra is a little different story, but FTX, it's still centralized. Like honestly, when you're using FTX, you're not really buying crypto unless you withdraw it into your own wallet.
Explain that a little bit better. Like I'm confused by that.
So like it is like you are buying crypto, but like FTX is holding onto your funds, right? So when you buy crypto, they are the ones who hold the crypto.
Similar to a bank.
And it's just like a bank,
because you're
right?
purchasing it and you have an account.
Right, you have an account, and like banks can go under. FTX went under, and so like, it's not crypto in the sense that you don't actually own your asset, like for real. And that like for real part is that you have a wallet that you own, like a ledger, like a hardware wallet is probably the safest route, because you can't like hack it, you can't tamper with it. And so like FTX, like it hasn't affected me because all of my assets are on my own wallet.
So you keep all of your assets on a ledger, your NFTs and crypto.
So even though you use these platforms to exchange, you always transfer it back to...
Immediately, really?
You never know. Immediately, because you never know.
Regarding FTX, what is your thoughts on what happened?
It's a whole shit show. Like I am just like distraught. Like it's traumatizing for the entire industry. It's destroying people's lives, simply because like they were running a fraud. I believe that Sam, the founder, had ill intentions, selfish intentions, and like it's just
yeah.
It's
very similar to like the 2008 like financial crisis, right? And like in the sense where a lot of these banks and financial like advisors were taking people's money and using it for their own investments, and just really allocating funds and misusing it for their own gain, while keeping it like this, almost like saying like, oh, everything is fine, when really it wasn't. They were investing in really bad indexes and really bad financial models. And it's like this happens in the Web 2 world. It just happened to be, a company that does like crypto.
Yeah, right? Exactly. And that's a really good point, because like the whole reason why crypto is so powerful is because it's transparent, right? Like if FTX was a decentralized exchange, you would see exactly
all of the funds,
their allocation of funds, right? And you would see like every single decision that they make with the funds that you're entrusting to them, right? That's why these companies like are hard to trust, because they like have a closed system where you can't see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And so like the reason why blockchain and crypto is so powerful is because like it's transparent. You can still have privacy over your wallet if you choose not to share what wallet it is, but like it's actually very helpful for like governments. Like it's very odd that like there's so like the US government is trying to like impose all these things that don't make sense, and they hate on crypto, when this actually helps their job, because like if they do find like criminal activity, they can literally see where that money flows.
Exactly.
Right? If they find the person that owns this wallet, they can prove and they can see exactly what happened.
Wow, right? That's huge. Like, let's just like sink that in.
And that's the power of, decentralization.
And also being transparent and having everything on the blockchain.
Yeah. But there are also a lot of merits to privacy.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother segment of like, if you do want to look it up, there's something called Chainlink, and Chainlink is solving a lot of the privacy problems by like being able to like verify and prove that like for example, FTX could have used Chainlink's proof of reserve solution, which they can prove that they actually own these assets, and without, I'm not sure if this is true, but like without actually revealing exactly what it is, but they can still prove like, yes, we are safe.
But they didn't want to be transparent, so yeah, exactly. they had options to be transparent.
Exactly.
But they didn't use it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we're giving our trust to when we use these companies' services.
What do you think that needs to be changed for mass adoption right now? Because the last 6 months has been like a ton of things has happened, and it's just like, oh, next, like what's next? You know what I mean? So I think on the outside perspective, a lot of people are like, okay, if that happened, then this could happen and this could happen. So like, so what do you think? For mass adoption, like how can this be fixed?
Yeah, I think like the best way is really like education about self-custody, about these wallets that we're talking about. Like, if you go through that process of learning like how to have a wallet, how to get crypto onto your own wallet, that you have this sense of security that it won't go away.
Yeah.
Like this, like people are losing money because they're using these centralized exchanges.
It's almost like a form of empowerment when you're learning how to purchase crypto and putting it into your own ledger or own wallet.
Yeah, it is very empowering. Just the process of doing all of that, and then being like, wow, like this thing, this access, this key is a secure way to know that I own this value. In terms of mass adoption, I think what we're going to see is like, and this technology and NFTs are not going to go away. Like NFTs at its core is, like you said, it's a digital asset. It's a certificate. It's a digital certificate that represents something, right? And this certificate could be the deed to your house, right? It could be a title to a car. It could be representing this sweater that I'm wearing, right? It can verify that this is indeed like an authentic, like billionaire boys club, like trippy looking like sweater, right?
Yeah.
That they made, that they produced and manufactured. So these kinds of things are actually very like helpful tools that can make supply chain and businesses operate more efficiently and honestly. And I think those businesses and people that are like building and innovating with this technology are really going to get ahead, like that step ahead of other people, because like who doesn't want something that's authentically verified?
Yeah.
You know, that's just cool.
I know you work a lot. Like you're constantly working on your computer as a coder. Yeah. Coders' lives are like, whoa, always looking at a screen. And so what is your work-life balance? Because I know you like to travel. You travel a lot. You know a ton of Web3 people, and so tell me about like how you balance like living a normal life and having this coder developer life. How do you balance those?
Yeah, I would say like I'm very fortunate and blessed that like I can work on my own terms, and so like I can work my own hours, and I'm like my hours are very flexible. So like I choose to just work all the time, because like like every moment I get.
Would you say you're a workaholic?
Yeah, currently.
What do you mean currently? I think you're just born like that.
Like because I'm a workaholic too, and it's what I do for work makes me happy. So like I know like you coding makes you happy.
It does.
And I feel like everybody should do what makes them happy, because in the long run they're just gonna run themselves dry, and they're going to just not be passionate about it anymore because they tried to do it for so long, because maybe it's because of the money or because of the fame they got. But like you show your true colors in the long run, and you're just like, I can't do this anymore, because I'm like, you just think about it, you got to show up every day, and you're like, I got to do this for the rest of my life.
I do find enjoyment, but sometimes it's frustrating when things don't work. But like like I'm just coding all the time, but like if I need a break, I'll give myself a break.
What's your idea of a break? Are you flying to Europe? Are you flying to Utah? Are you going to hang out with your friends? What's your idea of a break?
Yeah, I think it's going out and having fun with friends. Yeah, just like connecting with people.
Do you like to go to festivals?
I love going to music festivals
because like you're a DJ.
Music is a great break.
You DJ'd the after party. What was the biggest DJ set that you've ever gone to and you DJ'd?
It might have been after party, or I played at Marquee in New York.
Have you met?
That was actually with after party too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you met Slander?
I have not, but
Do you like Slander?
I saw their set at North Coast in Chicago.
Slander's so good.
What
about Steve Aoki? Have you met him?
I don't think I have actually. I've seen him.
I think that like someone like yourself and some of the people that you surround yourself with, you guys are able to push and really, really show people like, yo, this is the future. Because just your one move of supporting people, right? Like just that thought of like you didn't just support an artist. You created a movement.
Yeah.
Basically, you created a movement, and you want to. We all did. Yeah. And so like I think by all of us always working and collaborating together, we're creating this huge movement that will adopt the global audience, and we will keep furthering the technology, and we will keep collaborating on ideas, and I absolutely love that. Even if everything is crashing, we're still here saying, no, stop looking over here where the fire is, and look at this tunnel that's bright over here, because that's where this is where everyone is looking at right now, left, and we're looking right, and we're just seeing something bright, it's so hard for people to see this way.
Yeah.
Because there's no all the destruction is over here, and they don't see any value right here, but it's in front of everyone's face right now.
Right.
And it's like insane to me how like a normal person that doesn't understand like any of this, if I say, you know, what is a digital, like, would you rather have this digital asset or physical asset? Like, it's gonna be, I want that physical asset because it's tangible. They could fit, but like they don't, like, I want, like, what I want is like, I want to get to a point where we're like, nah, bro, digital, like Matt Medford said it himself, like every single generation to come is literally, we're going to be born into digital assets. And so like we were not born into digital, like it's like I think about that all the time. Like when he said that, it blew my mind. Like it blew my mind. And
it's very true. Like we're like these, like the new generation, they're going to grow up with like just receiving like digital assets as if it's just normal. They're not going to think twice about it.
They're not going to think twice. So like when they hear, you know, an NFT or whatever, it's going to be a digital asset and it's going to be normal. So like someone like yourself that was so interested in coding and becoming a developer at a young age and creating games, like take that and now put that in right now during this time, like the impact that these young, you know, people can make is ridiculous because now it's normalized to them.
Honestly, like I used to play a game called RuneScape, and like it was like a role-playing game where like there was like a in-game economy, and like I used to have like the rarest item. They were called party hats, and also like Santa hats, and they were just like very limited and rare items, and I used to have 2 of them. And like honestly, like if those were NFTs, if like I could actually keep those digital assets, the game would have been so much bigger. These assets would have been worth so much, I think, and like that game could have been known and widespread, and these items would be like could be a coveted item like by like everyone, like potentially everyone could be like, oh whoa, these like party hats of this game is like a really like valuable thing, and like I want that to add it to my like avatar in like in the meta quest or like their virtual world. Like, you know, imagine if you can like have these cross like compatible things, and like that's what I think excites people, to answer your question actually, like this idea of this metaverse that people are saying. And like the metaverse is just a very like broad like term, but like it's like an abstract concept, but like what it really means is that like these digital assets can be cross compatible. And like it's like you can take something from one thing like RuneScape and like use it somewhere else. And like that like the shoe that I'm wearing, which is all beat up, like I could like take this and like put it in RuneScape if they support the shoe, you know, like these like, and it creates collaboration by like a unified database, which is the blockchain.
So
that like
cool.
That unification of a data standard allows people to do things like and collaborate in ways that like, you know, the traditional world, our current world, is very competitive. But like when you collaborate, it would actually bring people up.
Wow. I love how you said that collaborating, it will bring people up, because I really do think right now, in order to get into a lot of industries, there's so many barriers. But in Web3, there's no barriers. It's really your mind and how much information you want to learn. That is the only barrier to Web3. And so this is super exciting, and it's so inspiring to everyone out there. It's a creator's economy, and thank you so much for being here and inspiring us.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Are you going to Art Basel?
I am.
Are you guys ready? Yes, we're all going to Art Basel.
Yeah. I'm ready.
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I'm stoked for the NFT now. Like, whole
it's gonna be crazy.
event. They're locking it down. So
yeah, and this is the first time we're doing like a Web3 wellness thing, and Project's gonna be there as well.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
we're gonna be there.
Super excited.
It's gonna be very different, and you know, if you go to these Web3 conferences, you see these open bar, you see a headliner DJ, but ours, no open bar. There's actually not gonna be any alcohol, which is huge. We're gonna have some nootropic drinks and really just, you know, healing and bringing people together to do wellness together.
Yep.
Nice. Stoked for that.
Thank you, Tim, so much for coming on the podcast. Keep I'm looking forward to what we create, and let's keep changing the industry.
Let's do it.
Mango out.
Gummy out.
Kang out.
Peace.